let's begin a journey into. So yesterday, day before yesterday, we took Rupa. Yesterday we took Vedana. Today we are taking Sañña. So now it has its own nature, just like Rupa has its nature. Vedana has its own nature. So you will find the nature is Sukha, Dukkha, or Adhika Sukha in the body, and Somanasa, Domanasa, Upekha in the mind. That's the nature. So if whatever one is attached to, it will have immediate effect of that. Meaning, if I am attached to something, I get a Sukha Vedana or Somanasa in the mind. If I don't like something, then I get a Dukkha Vedana or Domanasa. And if I am not reacting to anything at all, or I am just indifferent, say I have an indifferent attitude, instantaneously will have Upekha or actually Adhukha Sukha Vedana. So ignorance, avidya, is not knowing the Vedana which is coming on the body or in the mind, because it gives a niche feeling. Niche in the sense that it's always there, meaning it's certain, whereas life is uncertain. Everything is having its own uncertainty, or in other words, arising and passing away. So wherever there is a feeling, there should be a perception. They both go hand in hand. So like hand in glove. So if you put a gloves, it is going to touch, and if it is touching, it is feeling. If there's a feeling, there's a perception of what you're feeling. So it goes round like that. So if my perception is Nitya Sanya, that is always being there, then the feeling is always Nitya also, because there's no change. There's nothing to change there. Right? So I always aspire for a Sukha Vedana, even though there is a Dukkha Vedana, like what we took example yesterday about jogging or walking or whatever. There's a body pain, but still there is a Somanasa in the mind that I want to, I'm doing it for, let's say, marathon, I'm doing for something else. Then my mind is enjoying pain. No pain, no gain. The reason being that the perception, what I'm creating, is that it is good. I need to carry on. So, what happens when I perceive something which is ugly as very beautiful? Okay, now what happens? Instantaneously, the consciousness, vijnana, makes it look like that. Whatever you feel, you perceive. Whatever you perceive, you cognize. So, in the Mahavedala Sutta, the difference between Vedana, Sanya, and Jnana, three things are addressed. Whatever one feels, one perceives. Whatever one perceives, one cognizes. Cognition, meaning to know. Right? So, what is the nature of Sanya? The nature of Sanya is to symbolize. That's it. That's the whole nature of Sanya. It just symbolizes, it just recognizes, in the sense this is the object. So, if we were to take the knower of the field and the knower of the field is the Sanya. We can call that as intellect. And the known is the consciousness, that which knows the object. So let's say we take another example of the Kajaniya Sutta, where Buddha explains about Vijnana. And if you've seen that clearly, he talks about the taste comes. It knows the taste. It knows that it is sour, this is sugar, this is salty, like that. That's all it knows. Whereas if it comes to Sanya, it is like calling it as white, red, blue, yellow. That is Sanya. Sanjanati. San plus Janati. Janati means to know. Sanjanati is to know what it is, because it creates a symbol. Nimitta, symbolization. So its job is to notice something there and create a symbol then and there. So as soon as the Sukha Vedana is experienced, it symbolizes on what basis this is felt. This was felt. So the Sañña now I have is that it's Sukha. So anytime I see the symbol, it gives me that pleasure. Anytime I don't see that symbol, it gives me pain. Because that's a symbol, created a symbol, because it was felt. So chakuncha paticcha rupecha upajati chakku vinya chinna sangati phasso phassa pachaya vedana yam vedayati tam sanjanat. Whatever one feels, one perceives. What's the meaning of it? That in the nature, you have three. Either you can be in pleasure, can be in pain, can be neutral. Whatever one is experiencing, when we say Vedana, it's basically an experience. So, whatever one experiences, one perceives that. Meaning, he knows that I am having this. So, there's a symbol created. Examples. This is my home. How do I know it? I know it by perception. Is there really my home? No, it is just a building. But how do I know it is my home? Because I feel this is my home. Why? Because I feel sukha about it. I feel secure that I'm at this home. So what's the difference between hospital and a home? They both are rooms only. Be honest. But hospital has pain. House don't have pain. Even though there is pain, in the mind there is no pain because there is a secure place. How did it create security? Because as soon as the house was constructed, I made it as my house in the feeling. I got a Sukha Vedana. So the nature of Sañña is to recognize, is to identify, is to symbolize. It just took that symbol of Sukha. It takes a symbol of the Dukkha. So as soon as the house is noticed, the Vedana will be Sukha. Sañña, perception, symbolizes that, yes, this is. So you can call that as an intellectual capacity. At my intellectual level, I know from the feeling I'm getting that it is Sukha. Yam sanjanati tam vitakketi. Now this creates vitakka. Vitakka here in the sense that it is discriminating between this and that. If I am feeling bad, painful feeling, the perception is painful and hence I don't want it. I want to reject it because it's painful. Yam vitakketi tam papancheti. Now I create a story on why this pain is coming. Okay. Yam papancheti tato tam purisa. This person, purisa means this person. Papancha sanya sankha. I keep on adding more to that pain. Samudacharanti. That is, he moves along with that pain or pleasure, whichever way it was felt. The Sañña doesn't let go of it, even though that whole environment has changed, but still it holds on to it. Upadana. Atita, past. Anagata, future. Pachuppanna, present. Chakku vinyane, surupe. Okay. Now, what it really means, I saw, let's take the case of Vipassana. As soon as I read VRI, just a symbol, VRI, immediately there's a feeling of what? of Ubakin and Goenka. Even though they are not here, but instantaneously, the feeling what I get is Ubakin because it is written. A symbol says that based upon Ubakin tradition. Now, who is Ubakin? Is another Nama and Rupa. Who is Goenka? Is another Nama and Rupa. Who is Vilas? Again Nama and Rupa. What's that building? Again Nama and Rupa. But what it is showing to me is showing to me a different one. Now I have an intellect. In that intellect, the feeling what I'm getting, as soon as I enter, before I park my car, as soon as I enter the gate, there's an awareness, there's a Sañña based upon the feeling. If I had felt Sukha at that point in time when I took a turn into Vipassana, VRI, it creates an expectation. Instantaneously, there is an expectation that I need to get what I want here. Because that's the reason I'm following the tradition. Or if I'm a skeptic, meaning I have a adukka sukha vedana, and hence I'm a skeptic, I'm not too sure. Meaning, if I'm indifferent, it's basically indifference. Not liking it, not disliking it, but I'm very indifferent to it. Because I'm very skeptic. I have visikicha, doubt. Now when I enter into the gates of I start looking here, there, to get that experience, their sukha experience, a dukkha experience. And since at that moment there is no sukha nor dukkha, I'm indifferent to it because I don't really believe that this is going to do anything to me. So to that extent, the Sañña perception, because the feeling is neutral, the Sañña is also neutral. They both are going together. So I have a very neutral feeling. Let us say I hate, but I'm being forced to do this Vipassana. I hate doing it. I don't want it. But people have been requesting, Vilas, do it, do it, do it. And now there's no other way. So just to satisfy people, I go in Vipassana. From the beginning, I have hatredness. From the beginning, not today, from the beginning. The moment I enter into the gate, it feels painful. That symbol is connected to pain. Now, wherever I see VRI board, it brings in pain to me. And if I am a lover of VRI, wherever I see VRI, it brings pleasure to me. And the Sañña is pleasurable. I want it. I want more and more of it. And I don't want this pain. I don't want it. I don't want it. And I'm indifferent. The three. So the Sañña also is of three. It will give you, symbolizes it as painful, symbolizes it as pleasure, symbolizes itself as neutral. But all the three doesn't have anicca Sañña. It has nicca Sañña. Because whenever VRI board comes, it gives me that nicca Sañña. It is ditti vipallasa, hallucination of ditti Sañña vipallasa, because hallucination Sañña also. Yes, Sari.
Can I simplify this process? I want to summarize. Like I don't know if the understanding is correct. So when I first experience something, the first time ever before the sign is created, there's a sukha or dukkha based on my raga
The
or
first time you are experiencing, you have no idea, so it is indifferent.
okay. But soon, because my raga and dvesha, I start feeling
Right.
sukha or dukkha.
Right.
And then and there I create a nimitta, and which is associated with the sukha or dukkha.
Exactly. That's
But the
right.
next time, whenever I see anything, when a symbol comes, immediately the sukha and dukkha comes because it's associated with the symbol.
Exactly. So now let's take a different example to say what you are saying. There's a girl who is coming. I've seen her eyes. One eye, somebody's, where it looked very pretty. So I symbolize the eye. So every female who is coming, I am more interested in the eye. So that's a symbol I have created. I have taken the hair as symbol because that brought me sukha. In the initially, that brought me sukha. So I keep on looking at the hair. Some people look at the face. Some people look at the nose. Some people look at the teeth or lips, whatever. Yes.
So take the example of the hair. I guess there are different types of hair, right? So hair is itself is one symbol, but there are other things like how smooth it looks, how soft it looks. So
So
there are
when you
different.
take a symbol, you take all of it, whatever has given you pleasure. It's not one single symbol, it is a completion of it. To get you a niche Sañña, you should have a complete overview of it. So when you're seeing, when you're hearing, when you're tasting, when you're touching, and smelling, you're taken the whole, not a part. Yes.
I guess my question would be, let's see, there are 5 different girls with 5 different hairstyles. There are various degree of raga toward them when I see these type of hair. So the symbol is not just hair, right? There are different description in the hair
But
that can
then
be.
you will like something in someone, you dislike same kind of hair in another person. If you really closely observe, you're able to discriminate between this I like and that I don't like is because of Sanya.
Okay.
Because what feeling you got, you only know it. See, we can verbalize as much as we can. We can take different situations. But the feeling what you get, the basic feeling what you got, that is what you are perceiving it in outside there. Somewhere outside there. You think that is going to give it back to you. Yes, go ahead.
I guess my question would be, would I be seen, let's say all 5 give me sukha. Would there be various
Yes, there
degree?
would be variation of sukha because it's not the same sukha. So you have to really observe, Ariu. Now you are in whichever place you are in Shenzhen. Look at the environment. Just take a bird's eye view of the entire place. Don't symbolize anything. Don't symbolize. Just see. You will stop at somewhere because there is a pleasurable feeling what you got. And the very moment you'll symbolize it. Wherever your face, eyes, or whatever stops, you'll symbolize then and there. And that symbolization is a feeling again. You feel that is real now. So next time it just comes out. You don't have to struggle to it. Let's say in Shenzhen, the building what you that day showed me, which is behind you, I really love that tall building. Now that is symbolized in my mind. Either it is giving me a sukha vedana or a dukkha vedana or a dukkha sukha vedana. Yeah. So whenever next are you're going to call me to Shenzhen, what is the first thing I'm going to see? Just think that building. Because that gave me sukha. If I don't like that building, you know what I'm going to say to you? What is that I'm going to do with that? I'm going to say, hey, Aryu, I don't want to go there. You say, Vilas, I'm telling you, it has the world's fastest elevator. It takes you up in just 7 seconds or 10 seconds to the top of the floor. It has a lift which will take you so fast. And I say, I don't think so, Aryu. It is as fast as Seattle. You say that Seattle, they have changed lot of things. Now it doesn't have like that. In the whatever you went to the space needle is not like that now. But my Sanya, my Sukha, 12-year back experience of Seattle still exists. unless proven wrong. So you will force me saying that, Vilas, for me, just once, take this ride. Go. Now, reluctantly, meaning the dukkha vedana is there, the sanya is dukkha. I join you to that Shenzhen place, there, that thing, and we take the lift to the, say it is 99 floors. 7 seconds, I get sukha. Now my perception is changed. Few minutes ago, I was abusing that building. Since my perception has changed now, I say, wow, this is no match to the Seattle. I'm telling you. And you say, Vilas, I've been telling you this. I've been telling you this. Try once. Now the same thing with all the things. Because the Sanya changes due to Vedana. The nature of Sanya to just symbolize the feeling. Yes, go ahead.
And I guess a follow-up example, let's say you go around at different parts of the city, you saw a building of similar look and feel. So that brings up this symbol which give you the same sukha because
Exactly.
resembling that. And by various degree of resemblance to this, you get varying degree of sukha.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is the reason in Las Vegas, what they do, they want you to give you that virtual sukha. So they make all ceiling look the same, so that you will never come to know whether it's a day or night. They keep on playing and gambling in this place and that place and that place. Your place, the ceiling looks the same. Why? Because the perception of darkness gives you sleep. What if I remove the darkness itself? And hence Buddha says, when you're feeling sleepy, create aloka sanya. Why? Because if the feeling is day, your night will never be there. It's all dependent on the feeling. If you're feeling it's daylight, you will never sleep. So by practicing, concentrating in the midsection here, the pineal gland, where you have the light, keep on observing it. After a while, it becomes a big light, very bright sunlight. Now, in that aloka sanya, the sanya is perception, aloka is light. You're perceiving light, and it is night. It's night at 4, let's say it is at 12 a.m. in the morning, and you want to meditate, make aloka sanya, can't sleep because the feeling what you're getting is daylight. Can't sleep. This is how you can fool the perception, through feeling. What one feels, perceives. If I feel this is my wife, perception is wife. Because I'm perceiving it as wife, I have a feeling of wife. So now it is a circular connection. So, chakuncha paticcha rupecha upajati chakvinyanam tinna sangati passo. Passa pache vedana. So if you allow the contact to happen, it is going to bring in feel. If feeling comes, perception. So Sanya Vedita Nirodha is a stage when you make it non-perception, non-symbolization. And hence, Vedana Nirodha. That means you get into Upekha. In Upekha, it's Anicca Sanya. Anicca Sanya. It's automated process. So it's a nature. So when we say it's a nature, the nature of feeling is to have sukha, dukkha, sukha, vedana. That's a nature. Yes. Nothing to do with I am creating it or somebody is creating it. It's just the nature. In the same way, the perception has its own nature, is to identify object as red, blue, yellow, white. That's the nature. So recognition is the nature of Sañña. What one feels, one recognizes. If you're feeling it as sukha, it recognizes. If you are feeling dukkha, recognizes dukkha. If you are feeling adukha sukha vedana, neutral, it will exactly, recognize it as. Yes, go ahead.
I guess what we normally do is that we perceive this world, and then we create this huge dictionary of nimitta, points to sukha or dukkha, all that.
Yes.
So when we practice animitta, we start having this perception, which is called anicca sanya, which does not utilize this dictionary, but rather see it as arising and passing.
Yes, arising and passing away.
Hence, the feeling is always dukkha sukha.
Exactly. So instead of just creating a pattern of sukha and dukkha, which creates the nicha sanya, what you're doing is you're doing animitta by practice. So when you do animitta by practice, what happens here is that you get upekha, because you've seen anicca, you've seen the arising nature, you've seen the ceasing nature. Upada vaya. Upada vayatena anicca. Now you have really seen in its real sense that it's based upon my feeling, this perception has come. It's not the perception is independent of feeling. No. Perception is dependent on the feeling. So if I stop feeling, there's no perception. And that's the reason. One second. Ahara samudayo, rupa samudayo. Ahara nirodho, rupa nirodho. Hassa samudayo, vedana samudayo. Hassa nirodho, vedana nirodho. Hassa samudayo, sanya samudayo. Hassa nirodho, nya nirodho. Hassa samudayo, sankhara samudayo. Hassa nirodho, hara nirodho. That means the phassa is for all the three. Vedana, sanya, hara. All the three has the same food. What you feel, you perceive. What you perceive, you think of making that happen. This is sankhara. You want it, but to do something about it. So you create a sanchetana, chakku sanchetana, sota sanchetana, ghana sanchetana, jivha sanchetana, mano sanchetana, kaya sanchetana. All these sanchetanas is sankhara. Sankaronti iti sankhara. What one does. Based upon what? Whatever he's doing of the feeling. It's a sukha vedana, he wants it more and more, and he wants to do it to get that sukha vedana. So he perceives sukha because that's the feeling what you got. He starts searching everywhere. In whichever he gets sukha, symbolizes this. This is, oh, this is sukha. Oh, this is sukha. This is sukha. This is sukha. So he keeps on piling up, just like somebody on a trekking path keeps on putting symbol on the tree, so that while the trail ends, he comes back to the same place. He is making those symbols to make sure that he remembers that this is where he got the sukha. This is where he got the dukkha. This is where he got the sukha. This is where I got the dukkha. So dukkha I want to remove. I want. Yes, Sachin, you had a question.
No, when you were saying it is uh, what you feel, then you pursue. But earlier you said that what you pursue is that you feel that you had a debate with someone in Sri Lanka also.
Yes, so that I will tell you how that works.
Okay.
Okay, so it creates a circular fashion, just like Vinyana Pachaya Nama Rupa Pachaya Vinyana. Like that, this also goes. So there are,
Yeah, that circle is that is one thing I understand.
but
But
here, see,
literally, what is dependent on what?
so
And then
both
you
are dependent.
said that in first it is called Sanya Vedita Nirodha. That means Sanya is first.
Correct. Even now, I have not changed it.
Okay.
I have not changed it. So I'll come back to you on. I wanted to go the straight one. Then I will tell you why Buddha made it a Sanya Vedete Nirodha.
My understanding is you never know which one is first. They combinedly arise together. It's not because
That
of
is
this or
correct.
because of this.
In fact, in the Mahavedala Sutta, the question is asked to Sariputta, dear friend, is it samsatta or visatta? Is it together or it is separate? And Sariputta says that it is samsatta, it is together. Only through panya you can see the difference. So,
Knowledge.
so he says panya needs to be developed, vijnana needs to be understood. It's a very key thing in Buddha Dhamma. Panya is not vijnana. Okay. But one part of vijnana is panya. So you need to develop the wisdom in order to understand the vijnana, consciousness. The conscious behavior that I know this, the conscious behavior has two things there, Vedana and Sañña. Because it gives you the feeling. So he asked a question, Vedeti Vedeti iti Vedana. What does it feel? Sukha Vedeti, Dukkha Vedeti, Adukha Sukha Vedeti. Then he asked, Vijnana Vijnana. What is Vijnana? Vijanati Vijanati iti Vijnana. Okay, very nice. Vijanati, Sanjanati, Vijanati, Vedaiti. So let's take all the three terms and understand. Janana, in Hindi or in any Indian language, it is to know.
And Pajjanati also. Parijanati, Pajjanati.
Parijanati, Pajanati. Okay. So, Sanya, Panya, etc., on one side, Janati on the other side. Sanjanana, Pajanana, Vijanana. Like that, if you take, Janana is to know. Sanjanana is to know with evidence what it is, through feeling. That's the reason it is San. Adding of San gives you Raga Dvesha because you already added the feeling associated with it. Right? You already recognized it. This gave me Sukha and that gave me Dukkha. Pajanana is to completely know. Possibly getting it out of the pleasurable feeling here.
Or we can say irrespective of feeling, knowing.
Exactly.
Knowing without feeling.
Knowing without feeling is Pajanana. So Sanjanati is to know with feeling. Pajanana is to know the same thing without any feeling. You're investigating. How did it come? How did it come? Oh, it came due to.
Or even if you are feeling, knowing feeling and the sanna together can also be
Right.
Pajjanati.
So
Whatever.
now coming to this point. Panya, prajna, wisdom. Anya, panya. Anya is to see in a different way. Anya is different. Panya means to see it completely different than the way it is. It is not some satta, it is visatta. That means you have disintegrated it and now you're seeing it. How do you disintegrate? So just like what Buddha says in the this Masatipatthana Sutta, there are 4 roads to cut a cow, put it in 4 direction, and now what happens? You get pajanati, and you get panya out of it. Why? One second, one second. Why? Because you're seeing no longer cow there. So the perception of cow is gone. Because there's no longer feeling of cow, either liking it or disliking it. Yes, yes, Sachin, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, the way you have defined panya is different from me. Generally, my understanding is pa plus nya. Nya means knowing,
Knowing, yeah.
just knowing.
Yes.
But you added a also in between. Anya means differently knowing. It is really that way,
Just like there is abhinya.
but a is there. Huh?
Abhinya.
Abhi anya.
Anya is abhinya.
I was always under the perception that it is abhi nya, pa nya.
Okay, if you take it, nya is to know. Nyata is to know. Abhinyata means to know differently. Abhi means what? Higher. Abhidhamma. Higher dhamma. Abhi means higher. To know higher than what you know. Right?
Yeah, anyway, anya or nya, not too much difference in that way,
Yeah.
right?
So we can you can put it in whichever way you want, as long as you can understand what you're putting there when you cut it. Now coming back to this point. So when I perceive, if I'm perceiving with happiness feeling or an unhappiness feeling, it is sanjanati. Because my perception is dependent upon the feeling, associated feeling. Now in that case, why does Buddha says Sañña Vedaita Nirodha? Because the Sañña is in the symbol. If you make animitta, the feeling is upekha. If you are able to practice animitta completely, feeling is upekha. To cite an example, when I and Shreyas were going inside that parked car, I made it animitta. Total animitta. Building as a building. Parking lot as a parking lot. And when the registration form was given, it's just a registration form. When they asked me for a ID card to be shown, just an ID card to be shown. Nothing to get liking about it or disliking about it. Just whatever is there. So when they allocated a room to me, that building and this room are the same. When they told me this is the Dhamma hall, the room, a big room. Now in my room is only one single pillow. In this room there are hundreds of pillows. Nothing else. I'm not sitting here to meditate. If I'm doing something, it creates sañña of that because there is a vedana of it. So the moment I removed the sañña, meaning the moment I made it animitta, there was no longer VRI. It was just another sit. As I would sat at home, supposed to be this home, this room, that room, no difference. So the sañña came into a common ground, very common ground. In that common ground, nothing is arising and nothing is passing away. Because to arise, a feeling has to arise, and the feeling passes away. The feeling, when it arises either with a dukkha vedana or a sukha vedana. So the sañña also will become dukkha or sukha. Now, if my feeling itself is not like that, because I didn't even make it as a symbolic, nothing symbolized. So it was a complete silence. So when I sat, I really didn't sit anywhere. There's nowhere to sit. Just was cool from day one of the course to the day 10 of the course. Where to see? I was never there. I was in the class or whatever they were doing, but all the time I withdrew it. Totally withdrawal from all the six sense doors. So, didn't face a single problem on any given day, even though I was listening to his instruction and I was following exactly the instruction what he was being said. Exactly the instruction. Nothing that I added or deleted or whatever. It was just an instruction. Yes, go ahead.
So if it is animitta to you, who is following the instruction?
That we will take while you are here. That's better because I want you to get that experience. Now I can keep on explaining to you. Anyway, next 1 week you're here. There are many things I have noted down to discuss with all of you. When you're here, when we sit for Dhamma discussion for 1 hour time we have taken, we'll just take these and you can experience it for yourself. So this time I don't want your visit to go with you or you or whatever it is. I don't want the visit to go. Let's deal with that. So you park it, whatever you feel, you park it, you make a note of it. We'll definitely take it up. I have also made a lot of notes on what we need to discuss. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to share my understanding on the circular nature of this Sanyan feeling, right? I guess because now we already perceived so many things, make so many signs with feelings associated with it. Whenever we walk around, we pick up these symbols and then we feel. And when we feel, we increase the tendency of this symbol because we're adding fuel to the symbol, let's say. But when we first see something that does not have a symbol, like the first time a kid or something sees something, because there's a raga in the person that he has a tendency to feel, or let's say he wants to feel, and he start making the feeling, which
It's not like that. If you're seeing a small baby, give it a ball. How does it know it is a ball? Is first it'll touch, put in the mouth, will throw, it do something. So it creates sanya at each one instant.
but is there a feeling already associated?
It is. It is having a feeling. If the ball were to hit it, it gets a pain. So it starts crying. At that moment, it creates a sanya that this ball hit me and hence I don't want it.
But I guess I was going back to your point that you say, if I walk around the mall and see so many things, wherever I feel, I start creating symbols for that, right? And the reason I'm feeling is because the raga is in me. I want to feel things.
Obviously, see, the basic thing is raga and dvesha. Basic, very basic.
And avidya also, moha,
Yes,
avidya.
but for a baby with a ball, I guess it may not be sukha or dukkha in particular.
No, it
But
has. It has.
Avidya is there, right? Not knowing.
It
yeah,
has.
vijja will be there.
No, no, wait. Even if it is in the womb, to the time it comes out, it has all the three raga, dvesha, moha. But we don't understand it because it's a baby. So we create a sanya that it doesn't understand. But it is enjoying or suffering based upon what it is catching or not catching it.
Okay, maybe my theory of how this feeling arises would be wrong, but I guess my main point is the first time whenever the first time you create the symbol, the feeling and symbol, you can almost say it's simultaneous. It feels and the symbol is created then. It's a new entry is created in your
Exactly,
picture.
they both go together. You're right. There is no first in anybody's life that he has not created the symbol. What the point?
There's no first.
That means you can't trace back when did I create a symbol. You have been creating symbols in throughout lives. So there is nothing called as it ended and you started now. No. In
Yeah, I'm talking the first time, like of a particular symbol that's created. The
Exactly.
feeling is still associated with it. They
Now,
both.
as we talk, I have a symbol of India. I'm an Indian. You ask Sadda Jiva, yes, I'm a Sri Lankan. The symbol. And if I ask you, where are you? You would say, I'm an American born, or I'm a Chinese born American. Like that, there's a symbol. You feel you are Indian or Chinese or Sri Lankan or whatever. Feeling us.
Yes, and it's much more refined than just India and China, right? Let's say this session, we're having some fun discussion. And as I'm feeling the pleasant feeling from this discussion, my mind wants to create a symbol of this session. Oh, this this discussion on Sañña is a very good one. So that
Yes,
there and then the symbol is created. So the
exactly. Exactly. All the experiences create symbols. All the experiences. For the whole day and the whole night, you'll be creating only symbols to get back to that point where you had the pleasure, wherever that pleasure was. And in each of the six senses, you'll create symbol, not just one, six of them. And in the Madhupindika Sutta, that's the reason he uses them. Yam vedeti tam sanjanati tam vitaketi tam yam papancheti tato tam nidana purisa papancha sanya sankha samudacharanti atita anagata pachupannesu chakku vinyanesu rupesu sota vinyanesu taddesu dhana vinyane andesu kaya vinyanesu khabbesu mano vinyanesu, like that. It's not only one. Since we start with chakku, we shouldn't think that that's only one. All the six. All the six has its own symbolization. Its own symbolization. So the animitta has to be done in all the six, not only in one. So when I saw VRI, only one. Now what if Goenka speaks? Animitta. What? You're touching something. Animitta. What you're thinking something. Animitta. What you're smelling. Animitta. Like that. I need to do for the six. All the six. Then it is Sañña Vedayita Nirodha. Because there is no further Vedana now. There is no Sukha Vedana. There is no Dukkha Vedana. There is only Upekha. So, Rupa Nibiddha, that's a nature. Rupa, depart and arise and pass away. So it is Nibiddha. Disillusionment is a nature. You are illusioned, but but the matter is not illusioned by you. It keeps on going. It keeps on coming. Ahara samudayo, rupa samudaya. It's coming due to food. Keep on eating food. Grows. You reduce intake of the food, the body becomes slim. Not that you became slim, body became slim. You didn't become fat, body became fat because of the ahara. Ahara samudaya rupa. Now the phassa, just like in the Putta Mamsa Sutta, the way nicely put by Buddha, like a cow doesn't have a skin, and wherever it runs, there is some feeling or the other. Feeling keeps on happening. You react to the feeling, raga and dvesha. You create appropriate sanya for that. And you start doing sankharas to retain it, retain the sukha and the dukkha. So don't react to it. So when in the class on the fourth day they teach vipassana, you're not reacting to body pain. You're not reacting. And when you don't react, you're done it. Let the pain arise. Come. Let it go, let it come, let it go, let it come, let it go. Just be aware that this pain is not you. This pleasure is not you. It has a nature of arising. It's ceasing. Now you apply to the other five senses. Then you are done. Because the Sañña was created based upon the Vedana. Now no longer you have feeling, no longer you have a Sañña of that. That means it is blissful. Why? No symbol, no feel. If you create a symbol of bliss, it creates raga. Oh, I should get this. Dvesha. Again, symbolization. Fourth jhana, symbolization. Third jhana, symbolization. Second jhana, symbolization. Because of the feeling. Yes, there is jhana. Don't do anything. It comes. It automatically comes. You don't have to do anything. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it comes. Still it comes because you're not reacting to it. So with doing that, it's fun because there's no symbol. There's no symbol, already nibbana. Because there's no Vedana. Sañña, Vedaita. That's the nature. Nature of consciousness is non-verbalization, non-symbolization, nothing. So, yattha namancha rupancha asesam uparujjati jnanasa nirodena yattesam uparujjati. So now the symbolization is gone. Why? Yattha patavicha apocha tejocha vayo na gadati yatta digancha rasancha anuthula shubha ashubham. So now I have removed this baggage of Vedana, Sañña, and Vijnana. So that's the nature. As long as I create a symbol, so long I'm going to suffer. The moment I stop symbolizing, there is no suffering. Dukkha has ended. And you know dukkha has ended. Nobody has to come and tell you. It's ended. Because you are keeping something which really doesn't exist. Obviously, the dukkha is there. So I am carrying the dukkha. Now I myself has thrown out the dukkha because the Vedana and the Sañña in combination was creating this whirlpool effect. Now there's no whirlpool effect. It's a very nice one. So from the fourth day afternoon to the ninth day, had a beautiful time of animitta, no nimitta. Yes.
And the mistake then would be to make a sign out of the Nibbana experience, like
Yes.
the Mula Pariyaya Sutta talks about.
Yes. So that is a manyana. If you do that manyana, you are dead. You shouldn't do that. Now I shouldn't keep on bringing VRI, 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 VRI into my mind because now what happens? Vedana gets created. It can be Sukha Vedana of the VRI or the Dukkha Vedana of whatever that is. Now it becomes an obstacle on my path. I will be creating or I'll be encouraging four of the Nivarnas to appear. One Kamachanda, because I loved it. Vyapada, I did not like it. Heenamida, I have become sluggish. I don't think I'll be able to sit like that and this, that, and not do it. That creates Udacha. And have not done it. Whatever Guruji said, I'm not doing it. So it creates Kukucha. Whether this path is meant for me or not is another doubt. Visikicha. So I brought all the five enemies at once. The friends. Saddha gone. Virya gone. Sati gone. Samadhi gone. Panya gone. So I brought in the enemies, threw the friend out. So the first thing I need to bring is Sati. When I get Sati, it brings in two friends, Virya, Tad. Then Samadhi and Panya gets developed. Now I have 5 indriyas. And because I have these 5 indriyas, I have 5 bala. Because I have 5 bala, I have the 7 bhujanga. Because I have the 7 bhujanga, I have Arya Atangika Magga. I have completed the journey. It's very clear. That's a nature. It automatically takes you there. You don't have to do anything. Not doing anything is liberation. Doing something is bondage. The moment I want to do something, I'm in bondage. I want to sit for 1 hour. It's a bondage. It will not work. Just sit. Just sit. Don't symbolize 1 hour. Why 1 hour? You can sit for 3 hours. You can sit for 5 hours. You can sit for only 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. Don't symbolize. The Vedana will be Dukkha Vedana. The moment at 1 hour you are not able to sit, you have created a Dukkha Vedana. The symbolization happened. So you can't sit now. What if you were to sit for 1 hour? You feel Sukha Vedana. Why not 1.5 hours? So you challenge yourself. Now, the moment you challenge yourself, you created a Sañña of that, which creates Vedana. Now you have created the cycle. Just sit. Just like breathing is breathing. You can't say, I'll breathe only for 1 hour and I'll stop breathing for the rest of the time. It is idiotic. In the same way, just like breathing is breathing, sitting is sitting, standing is standing, sleeping is sleeping. You just know that this is sleeping. Pajanati. That's all. There's nothing more to it. You don't add anything that this is how you need to sit, this is how you need to sleep, this is how you need to do that. The moment you create this distinction, Sañña gets created. The Sañña gets created, you start feeling it. Because you felt it, you created a Sañña. So now you have no escape. Sañña creates Vedana, Vedana. Sañña, Sañña. Vedana, Vedana creates. Now you have to create Papancha Sañña Sankha. That's all. Over. You are in the Madhupindika now. Now you are created a honey ball of the wrong kind instead of a honey ball of the right kind. Honey ball of the right kind is don't create Papancha. Papancha is Pana. Papancha is Samsara. Don't create it. It's created out of symbol. Don't symbolize. Don't symbolize, there is no verbalization, which is vitakka. So, vitakka vichara, we remove it. Make it savitakka savichara. You have learned the art of not reacting to anything, which brings in piti sukha ekagata at once. Then you are in this or whatever non-symbolized bliss. That's it. That's all the nature of things. Rupa, Vedana, Sañña. Tomorrow we'll take Sankhara, then we'll take Vijnana. But 5 aggregates, we have to see it in this way. Ahara Samudayo, Rupa Samudayo. Ahara Nirodho, Rupa Nirodho. So there's no Sañña there. It's real. Body grows because of the food. The body collapses if there is no food. Simple. Whether it's a tree or a creeper or a plant or whatever it is, the same. This body is also the same thing. No different. Passa Samudayo, Vedana Samudayo, Passa Samudayo, Sañña Samudayo, Passa Samudayo, Sankhara Samudayo. All these 3 gets created only through Passa. And when the Passa happens, the reaction is either through Sukha or Dukkha. Don't do that. Don't symbolize. Don't verbalize. Just a room is a room. Hall is a hall. Building is a building. At the max. Don't further subdivide it. This is living room, this is my bedroom, this is my that room and this room. Then you have created more Saññas. Samuchi Satcha is there. The house. Fine. Don't further subdivide it to different compartments. The more the compartmentalization, more the Vedana. The more the Vedana, the more the Vijnana of that. So, Vijanati is good. But if you do too much on Vijanana, then you have created concepts, concept and concept and concept. So much of concept get created that concept becomes a reality. And which is unreal, always unreal. The real is not what is perceived. Because there is no Sañña of reality. Reality is unperceivable. Why? Perception is through six sense door. Unperceived is beyond the six. Why? Because the feeling cannot be explained. How can you explain bliss as a feeling? You can say, good. Just like somebody asking, how was your sleep? Oh, superb. I slept like a log. Explain me log. That's there ends the matter. Now you can't explain sleep. Only the person who has slept knows. The same way the person who gets Nibbana knows that he's in Nibbana. Now if you keep on asking him, explain me Nibbana, he cannot explain Nibbana. He can explain Sansara, but he cannot explain Nibbana. Simple as that. So our effort should be in removing the Sañña, Vedayita. It's yes, Hari.
When we look into the world, we project this web of perception, Sañña, right? So that when we tear it down, like we remove all these feelings along with it, then brings Nibbana.
Exactly. So is it wrong to create the Sañña? No. Just like in the Milinda Panha, where the explanation is given that yes, in the worldly thing, you need to say it's a chariot. This is a house, the body. Fine, fair. But don't take it inside. Don't take it inside. Let it be outside. It's fine. Because otherwise you cannot communicate. So, just like in the Milinda Panha, question and answer. Very nice. So Nagasena explains. What is Nagasena? He explains. In the same way, we have to say, I am Vilas and that is Saddha Jiva. Even though he's written brave monk there, you see how my Sañña changes. There is no Saddha Jiva. He has put there brave monk. Right? But I'm not calling him brave monk. I'm calling him Saddha Jiva Thero. His original name is something else. But you see, the Sañña what I've created is that his original name is so and so. Then he became a monk. So he was named Saddha Jiva. Now he has put brave monk. But I'm able to see all the three. Doesn't matter. Right? And he says, I am Saddha Jiva. Even though he is not. Because his name is brave monk. He didn't say, I am a brave monk here. He's put brave monk. Anyway, something similar with Ariu and Sachin. So this symbolization is required, but it is not true. It's absolutely created. Whatever is created gets destroyed. Whatever it can be. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. Wherever, whatever dhamma is created, it gets destroyed. Without a trace. Without a trace. Why? Because the feelings keeps on changing. So the perception same. The sankharas change. So Asa Samudayo, Vedana, Sañña, Sankhara Samudayo, Asa Nirodho, Vedana, Sañña. That's all what it is. So if we have clarity on Sañña and Vedana, we have done more than 90%. Because that's the reason in the Uttamamsa Sutta, Buddha says, out of four, he says one who understands ahara will never get a rebirth in the womb existence. Then he says one who understands Vedana, he has done everything. Then he says one who has understood Sankhara, he has done everything. Then he says one who has understood Vijnana, I call that as, because he has ended the journey. Yattha namancha rupancha atesam uparujjati Vijnanasya nirodhena atesam, thrown it out. There is no further clinging on to any nama and rupa. Done. Journey is ended. So the dying moment, nama rupa doesn't get created. Yes, go ahead. Yes, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to understand what we create and what arises. Let's say I'm building Anicca Sañña or Asubha Sañña, for example. So I am saying something very beautiful thing. Let's say beautiful flower, and I'm developing the perception of ugliness in it. But what arises is beauty. In this experience, in this moment, the perception is beauty, but I am interrogating, investigating, bringing the Dhamma Vichaya and concluding that it is ugly. Okay, now this practice goes deep down in me. Let's say I practice it for a week. This flower is ugly, this flower is ugly, this flower is ugly. Maybe after then it happens that when I see the flower, the perceptions of ugliness arises. Correct? So what I did, I build perception, and what arises, that built perception has arisen. Is this
I
correct?
got I got your question very clearly.
Or,
Let me
or what I did is just Sankara, and Sankara has created this Vedana and
Sanya.
Sanya.
Correct. So it's not about calling the flower as ugly. Okay, that is another level of Sanya. I'm creating another Sanya. It's not that. You have
Yeah,
to see,
replacing the Sanya.
you're just replacing Sanya from Sukha Vedana, it will get into Dukha Vedana. No, every time you see the flower, you feel that this is not a flower. No, that is not the case. You need to develop Anicca Sanya rather than anything. Anicca Sanya is arising and passing away. One
Yeah, yeah, but developing a Sanya means replacing a Sanya, right?
No, 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 no.
This Anicca Sanya is better than a Super Sanya.
No,
That's
no,
what
it's
you
not
mean to
like
say.
that. No, no, no. I think you are thoroughly mistaken. It's not like that. In general, we only see the arising. In fact, Buddha, when he is talking to Vachagotta, he says, Vacha, there are only two kinds of people I see. One who says that everything arises, one who says everything departs. Okay. If somebody were to see through wisdom that anything that arises, and if somebody were to see anything that passes away arises again, he's understood
Okay,
what should
okay,
be
okay,
understood.
okay. I got it. What you are trying to say is you are not replacing, but the Subha has arisen that you are not forgetting.
Exactly.
And it will diminish that you are not forgetting. This knowledge you are bringing in.
Exactly.
Instead of replacing the Subha, the nature of Subha is arising and passing away that you are not forgetting.
Exactly. Correct. Yes, sir, you go ahead.
No, I was just thinking a super sanya, instead of understanding it as an ugliness per se, it's a super. It's not, you remove the super, I guess it's more
See,
proper.
the English word, appropriate English word for subha is auspicious. It's a
Yeah.
very auspicious thing to have it. Asubha is an inauspicious thing.
Right. So you remove the auspiciousness is what a super is about.
Yes.
It's not about seeing it as
So the
ugly and
nature is when we take sankhara, sabbe sankhara anichati, yada panyaya passati, atta nibbindate dukkhe, eso maggo visuddhya. If we take that, And
Yeah,
also,
even Nyanmoli explained the way Vilas has explained about Asubha in that video was Asubha is not replacing the Subha, but Asubha is encompassing the Subha. Subha is there, the beauty is there, but beauty is founded on the Asubha, ugliness. See, the lady is very beautiful, but you are seeing the urine and feces, right, with your panya, and probable the future wrinkles are going to come on, the teeth are going to fall down. That knowledge when you bring, that is there holding this beauty.
yeah, another way to see it is properly see it is to sit in meditation. Just watch the plants grow and fall down. There is a beauty, subha, or auspicious, that growth. But there is also auspicious in decay and death. If you keep one end and drop the other end, you are in dukkha. If you catch this end and drop the other end, is again dukkha. You should see life, the whole spectrum. If you see the whole spectrum of it, nowhere you can see a consistent thing. It's going by the law of nature. The Surya Udaya, called as Suryodaya, and Udayangama in Pali or in Sanskrit or in any of the Indian language, is that Suryodaya. Udaya means to arise. Samudaya is fully arise, meaning together arise. Samudaya, Vyaya. Dayangama, Attangama. Okay. Attangama is sunset, setting. So if there is a rise, it's going to set down. No matter what I do, no matter how much I pray, sun has arisen, beautiful sunrise, beautiful in the morning, it's reddish and a very warm light. But noon, it's going to burn. No matter how much I pray to the God, hey God, make this sun be like in the morning. He'll say, come tomorrow, my dear child, not now. Now it is like this only. After that, you will get a sunset, which will again turn itself into that orange color, red color, and then it goes away. Yes, sir.
I guess, like in summary, when you see birth in your eye, you not only see the birth, you see that death simultaneously.
Exactly.
So you're not enchanted by the birth. And when
Exactly.
you're seeing death, you don't just see the death, you see birth simultaneously.
Exactly. So in the
So you're not sorrowed by the death.
correct, in the MN13, Mahadukka Khanda Sutta, what he says, look at a girl. He says, you explain this to whoever you meet on Rupa. Take a girl of 16 years of age, not too tall, not too short, not too fair, not too dark, not too fat, not too lean. Okay, she looks good. It's there. She looks good. But after 60 years, see her. After 80 years, you see. After 100 years or dead, you see her. And her bones are spread out everywhere and all that is happening. You have to see both the picture. This, that. Then your Sañña becomes anicca. If you only see one and throw the other, becomes nichya, because you only see the part of it. Now you don't want that other one to happen. Nobody wants the other one to happen. Nobody wants. Because I want it to be like this. Yeah, you need to drop in 3 minutes. I need to drop in 2 minutes. Okay. So basically, what we need to conclude on Sañña is perception is created through symbolization. Create symbolization, feeling. Whatever one feels, one symbolizes. So if you were to have a upekha bhavana in everything, no need for symbolization. Hence you get Sañña with this Nibbana. Now tomorrow when we take Sankhara, we'll see how to make it Samatha. So Rupa, Nibiddha, Vedana, Upekha, Sañña, Anicca, Sankhara, Samatha, Vijnana, Nirodha. And all these 5 aggregates like that. Then we will talk on Monday. Sorry, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. Even I won't be there to do it. So we'll take Sankhara on Monday. So when we see all these 5 aggregates in this way, Rupa, Nibiddha, Vedana, Upekha, Sañña, Anicca, Sankhara, Anatta, sorry, Sankhara, Samatha, Vijnana, you will be in Nibbana also. So your grasping of aggregates is, now this once happening is Sotapanna, twice happening is Sakadagami, thrice happening is Anagami, always in that. So when I sat there in the Vipassana center, I came to know that through this method also I was here. Through this method also I am here. I have no confusion. This method or that method make any difference.
So if it is keeps on happening more than 3 times, again and again, many time occurring, and that means you are on the way of Arhat, right?
Yes. Yes. And I'm so glad that I did this 10-day retreat. So glad. I'm so glad means I am so grateful to everyone whoever said go and do 10-day retreat. I got all the answers in the sense that all the attainments what you should get, I got in those 8, 7, 8, 9, 3 days.
You said the 4th time you experienced you should be an Arhat then. That means you should have been an Arhat now.
No, not Arhat. After 4th, it will keep on happening.
It will remain like that.
Always in that is Arhat. Okay, okay. Got it.
Going to be Arhat, on the way Arhat.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it while you guys are here. Talk about a lot of questions, things apart from what he wanted to ask, all of it. And Sadhajiv also has, yes, will take all of it. Okay, good day. And Sadhajiv, I'll give you a call after this call. Okay, all right. Namo Buddhaya. Bye.